Tries to very good. Orange. Right then. Orange. Okay then. Orange. History and part of the club.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, and obviously. Consider the inconsistency in team selection still.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the West Ham Network. My name is Anton and I'm bringing you today's daily show, which is all about that man they call David Moyes and his press conference. So it's a feature that we brought to you last year, actually, and it was talking about every time he done the day of his press conference. We thought, yeah, I know we bring it to you in our preview, but why don't we look at bringing to you our individual show on his particular press conference? And it's because, you know, some people don't really find it easy to get to, and some people will just watch the show. So we do a little bit of digging, we get all the images, and we pull all together the text, and we try and dissect his interview and press conference that he does with the press. But if you are new around here, please go across and hit that subscribe button. We're on the march to 8,000 subscribers, and we're so thankful for all of the support that you are giving to us right now. So go across, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. That bell notification notifies you when there is a video going out live. Of course, we are on the West Ham Network. It's all brand spanking new. We're joining forces with Russ from My Hammers 11, and we are hoping that you're enjoying all the content that we're bringing to you. When you think about the network, we're thinking about regular content, quality content on a more regular basis than what we're giving to you, and hopefully you believe you're getting a lot more value from it as well. So if you are new around here, or if you're not new around here and there's things that you're worried about in terms of change, then let us know. But we're just trying our best to give you the best that we can do. We have a membership program, of course. If you are interested in becoming a member, you just click the link in the chat, and then that will take you to the membership options where you'll get some perks for being a member, of course. And of course, I know you all watched the West Ham Daily yesterday evening from Still, which was great, really good, giving you a bit of insight into our transfer shenanigans, whether we will or will we not bring in some new signings for the new season. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, really. We've got 11 days till the transfer window closes. We all know we need to strengthen, and we will cover that in today's video. So what I'll do is, and I will engage with everyone in the chat as well. Actually, so I'll just come in and see who is in. Why not? Thunder and Joy Irons, hope you're well. Good to see you. Words and Pictures. David Moyes, who do you think is the best West Ham Network presenter? I'll let you decide that. Vegeta DZ, evening all. Good to see you. Revo, thank you very much. I hope you're well. Craig, come on, you Irons. Andy Milesy, the unit. Afternoon, gents. Weekend is nearly here. And it is, mate. It is here. Finished about 30 minutes ago. I was going to work on a little bit later, but that's just the nature. Going to get some dinner ordered. We're going to get a takeaway in tonight, so that'll be really cool. There's the link to the membership program if you are interested. Scott, thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Toby, Mr. Spanner himself, the original Spanner, we could call you. You're in the house, all talking to each other. Father Snowman, hope you're well. Good to see you. Corba, YouTube score prediction. We'll cover that in a second. Good to see you. Rob J, really good to see you too. Or you're going for score predictions already. George, there are different tiers that range anything between £3 up to £7. So you can actually click that link that I've put in the chat, and you can actually see what the options are and what you get as benefits of becoming a member. So go and check them out. If you click the link, it will tell you. It doesn't mean you sign up to it automatically. You get to read through the membership options as well. You're all talking about the icon from Masuaku. The unfortunate thing is when you use this here is that emoji can go into the chat on YouTube, but we can't bring that emoji up in front of the camera. So yeah, Toby's saying that as well. If you click, you'll see the options. Michelet, good to see you. Hope you're well. Hughes, hi, you beautiful people. Oh, we have a puck a day. Yes, thank you very much. Roy, good to see you. What transfers, Anton? I do think there will be 3 signings before window shuts. I do think there'll be signings as well, Ken. I concur with what you're saying. We don't have anyone coming in the window, but he addresses some points in the press conference today. So we'll go through that. David M, good to see you, mate. and Scott R, 3 loan signings. Let's see what he does have to say. So the first port of call is, and the busiest part and the most interesting part, especially for the game coming up against Leicester, is on team news. Now, listen, we are on Friday. The game is on Monday, so we know things can change over the next couple of days. However, he does state that we've got one or two knocks and niggles. We're still trying to get Arthur Masuaku back from the knee problem. Apart from that, I think we're pretty much okay, I think. So it's interesting that he brings up Arthur Masuaku, because I think having him, Moyes knows how to use Masuaku in a game, especially when we played 5 at the back last season, and particularly against Leicester and Wolves for the first early games in the season. And it was really effective when we played 5 at the back, allowing Masuaku to get forward. And know some of the fan base, in particular still, are not a massive fan of what Masuaku can bring. But I don't doubt for a second that Moyes can get the best out of what his ability is, and can bring that out. So I'll be interested to see what comes of Masuaku. He ain't leaving the club anytime soon. He has come back from a serious injury and a serious operation. So we'll see how this one pans out. He then moves on to talk about the fans. So we've got one of the biggest stadiums in the country, and to get 60,000 people back will be fantastic. We're thrilled, and I'm sure all the supporters will be glad to be back at it as well. I'm looking forward to getting them all in there. It'll be great. They're coming back. I hope to watch a much improved team. The players have done a great job in the last 18 months. Hopefully now we can turn London Stadium into a really fruitful place for us. We had a good record there last season. I'm looking forward to getting supporters back and to help us as well. So let me know if you're one of the supporters that's actually going to the game. If you have a season ticket and you're going to the game, or if you've bought a ticket off of general sale and are going to the game. And if you're not going to the game and you have an opportunity to go to the game, let me know why. Is it because of the situation in the world, the pandemic? Is that having a kind of knock-on effect to you? But what we will know is, and listen, I was at the Newcastle game, as I know you were, Ken, and some other people in the chat, Miles A, etc. The atmosphere was electric, and it was great to be back. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, coming from Scotland to the game, I was slightly concerned because we're still wearing masks, for example. It's mandated in Scotland to wear masks when we're inside public places and even stadia. But we came into St James's Park and it wasn't needed. So it was a bit of getting used to. I got used to it eventually, but it was a bit of getting used to. But what I can say is it was electric. It was electric. And it was, what I personally saw was maybe a West Ham side in the first half that were flabbergasted by the fans and the noise. And maybe intimidated. However, they grew into the game, and then once they realised they could maybe hear. Sometimes in Miles, I think you said it once as well. It was a bit like the 12th man because we were really loud. You can actually. It made me look. I looked online and I watched a couple of not Newcastle channels, but generic football channels, and they had fans in the home end and the opposite side of the ground, and they'd done several clips throughout the day. You couldn't hear the Newcastle fans, and even when he was singing in the crowd with Newcastle fans, you consistently heard the West Ham fans. Now, we all know away days are like that, and it's got that party atmosphere. But God, if we could make that electric atmosphere at the London Stadium, that would be, we know that place can rock. We know it can because we've seen it sometimes in our lives as West Ham supporters. And that's what we need to continue. We need that to come on to the Olympic Stadium, the London Stadium on Monday night. The benefit for me, especially our first game back at the London Stadium with near full capacity, is it's a Monday night and it's under the lights, which I think will hopefully help the scenario. So it will be cool. Let's see what everyone is saying about what I've said. Let me just have a quick look here. So many comments. Good afternoon, Anton. David, good to see you. 3 loan signings. Well, we'll see what comes through the door. Toby Scott, I'd take that gladly if they have the same sort of options as Areola. But what was he saying there? Did I miss that? What Scott said? Don't know. I was the first member. Loving the content you lads do. Defo keeping it up. Keep it up, big man. Cheers, Andy boy. Good man, Milesy. You unit. Vegeta, sorry, Anton. Sometimes I write a lot of mistakes because French keyboard. No worries, mate. You don't need to worry. We do a lot of mistakes. Gaza, hope you're well. Cheeky Origi on a loan deal. Yeah, I mean, I would take him. I like him. I think he's got an option. I think he's the type of striker that Moyes might look at. Kevin, good to see you, mate. Hope you are well. 12th hours, okay, but not. It's the 12th man, Haller and Anderson. Hold on a second. As you can all tell, I am at home with the kids, so give me 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. So that's just the nature of what we do. So I had to put it on mute because you don't want to hear what I just said. Why are we getting so much bull, John Hicks? Are you talking about bull in terms of transfers or the rumours? Is that what you mean? Flavia Silva, Friday Joyful, City Musa Brazil, absolutely. Andy Moyes, King Arthur, great going forward. Bring on Emerson on loan for Chelsea. We've been linked to Emerson for such a long time, and I think he's a player that could add something to us, but I'm not sure if he's going to be the one. And I get it, though. I get it, Milesy. I do get it, mate. Vegeta, I hope that we'll win. Absolutely, mate. I'm going good. Are you happy with everything that's going to be there? Are you? I mean, what's your kind of thoughts on that? Ken, I'm a fan of Arthur in a 5, but not at left back. And I think we're going to need those options, to be honest, Ken. I think you probably agree. I don't know how many times we changed formations last season, and and it looks like we're probably going to be doing that depending on the team we come up against. You know, in hindsight, I think that if we had players like Masuaku fit, we probably would have played a 5, and we probably still may play a 5 formation against Leicester. But it's all open for debate. We'll talk more in depth about that when we come to the preview, which will be on Sunday evening, hopefully with a special guest. Hopefully. Not promising anything, but hopefully. Oza will be there on Monday if I can get my digital ticket working. Absolutely. I think there are options. You know, I did have a paper ticket, obviously, for the Newcastle game. However, I am pretty comfortable using my phone. I know a lot of people can actually screenshot their barcodes, so that's something maybe to consider as well. People keep putting them into the wallet, but what you can actually do is you can screenshot your code, and if you screenshot your code, then all you need to do is just open it up into your picture, and it's still the code still works off of the picture. So it's really maybe something to look at, Oza. Vegeta, West Ham is not a team, but a soul. You can say that again, fella. At the Newcastle game, did they check the COVID passes? So in my circumstances, no, they did not. Now, when I went into the stadium, and let me be brutally honest with you, I went into the stadium late. I was there for kickoff. But why do you think I was late? Because I was waiting for one man and one man only, and his name was Stelios. He had one of my tickets for me. He brought it up for me. And we lost reception because, as you do, thousands of people using the phones. And we stood outside with my son. I was like, where is he? Phoned him. Oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes. 20 minutes later, still wasn't there. Eventually did turn up. However, we all went in and it was rammed. It was absolutely rammed. And not once did anyone ask me, or I would honestly say when you're standing in the queue waiting, I seen 10 to 12 people in front of me. I didn't see any of them get their passes checked. And then I looked because some of the people we were with were about 5 or 6 behind us. None of them had their COVID passes checked either. So I don't know how sporadic it is, and I don't know what the London Stadium would be like, but there's absolutely no way they're going to be able to check everyone because you're talking about 60-odd thousand people. It's not going to happen. So, yeah. Kevin, Anton, do you feel it's safe going to the ground, or do you still feel like it's too early? I felt safe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who am I to make that judgment? I can only talk from my own personal circumstances. So I followed the rules strictly. We had to follow them up in Scotland. It was all mandatory. It was all mandated. And it was just new to me. I thought at first I was going to be wearing a mask, but as you all know and are aware, when you walk up to St. James's Park, you are up in the gods. So just wearing that mask, and then suddenly, what I will brutally say is, when at St. James's Park, when you walk up those steps, you walk straight into the hospitality section, and it was like a sweatbox, and it was like, I mean, if it would have been a germ spreader, dramatic germ spreader. So because I had my son with me, I just went straight from my seat and sat down, and it was roasting in there, instant sweat coming off people, droplets everywhere, you name it. We were all singing and dancing, but I just took my son straight up to the seat. And then I waited up. He kept asking me for a drink, and after about 20 minutes, I did run down. We ran down very quickly to go and get something that was dead down there quite at that point. So we'll see what happens. West Ham mindset. David M, going to the game with my mask on. Got to be honest, I think I was the only one wearing versus Atalanta, which is really strange. Absolutely, mate. And David, I mean, when we scored, I was obviously celebrating, and then the next minute, someone kissed my head. I was just like, I would kiss my bloody mum for about a year and a half, and then a stranger just grabbed my head and kissed my head, and I was a bit taken aback by it all. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I was emotional with fans singing "Cannot Wait Until Monday Under the Lights." Going to be electric Monday, 60,000. Come on, absolutely milesy. I'm not going to be there, unfortunately. I'm planning for the Palace game, so we'll see. Kent, Anton, I kept my mask on because I was at risk. The atmosphere was tremendous. I can't see it happening at the London Stadium because songs don't carry, because singers are to spread. Yeah, I know, but I can't help but think that it's got the potential to be that electric atmosphere. That's depending on the result and how West Ham are currently playing at that time. Beware lest have a good defence and Vardy appear fit and full of confidence. Absolutely, mate. Good evening, guys. Good to see you. Megan, Happy Hammer 82. Hey everyone, hope you're all well. Good to see you, mate. Rob J. Wilmer. Hi, Happy Hammers, all talking to each other. This is boys. This is he is not sure. And you're alive, Anton. Love it, mate. That's exactly what happens when you do these things. You've got a family. We can't let that stuff take over and stop. You know, and that's why I do sometimes nighttime streams, because the kids are in bed and they don't get interrupted. We need to put all our singing fans at one end, a bit like the Yellow Wall or Palace Ultras, for example, L. Watson. I think that's something we could have done at the start, and I think it's now going to be, you know, because we've spent so many years trying to get people together again. I don't know how easy that's going to be, but we'll see. Gaza, well, Wolves have scored against Leicester last week, but didn't have their goal scoring boots on. I'd like us to play 5 against Leicester. That's from Toby. David M. Forget Sky Sports News. Check out West Ham Network. They talk about other teams when there is nothing to talk about. Do we? Tell me. Hey, Vegeta. Vinay, I saw Moyes at Sainsbury's shopping list. He just popped back at Chris. He wasn't sure about the items. Neil from Down Under. Good to see you, mate. 1:15 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Kevin, I'm going, Anton, but I feel cautious. I get that. Revo, to be honest, I don't know full what's going to happen. They say they're going to do random COVID tests, but that will be manic. I can't see how they're going to do random COVID tests, Revo, to be honest. I think that will be manic. I think that will be absolutely crazy, to be honest, because I don't know what the timescale is coming back on that. I think what they're asking, and correct me if I'm wrong, is they're asking for people to do a proof of double vaccination or proof of a negative lateral flow test. A lateral flow test is something you can do at home up to, is it 48 hours before the game? As long as you have that evidence with you. I don't know how they can prove that that is you, but I don't know, to be honest. Listen, let me move on. The next section, he goes on, David Moyes. There's still loads of comments, and I will go through them. He talks about Antonio, so he's certainly closing on it now. He's joint top, and I'm sure he will break the record. And if it happens this Monday, it'll be great. But if not, I'm sure it'll be in the near future. I think Meach will see it as a big achievement, and he should do, because West Ham have had so many great players throughout the eras. He started as a winger and then went on to full back, and for this period in his career, he's a centre forward. I hope he ends up with 20 or 30 goals ahead of Paulo Di Canio, and it makes it very difficult for anyone else to catch him. What an absolutely amazing feat for Antonio. Not bad for a right back, isn't it? Get your comments in, the thoughts of him, even the fact that he's equaled that record. And the funny thing is, we keep talking about Antonio breaking the record, and I don't have doubts about that. However, Mark Noble's nearly there, and he is going to get some game time this season, so it could be switching hands a couple of times. And I hope it does. It'll be good. It'll be good for competition, etc. He then moves on to Benrahma. On Benny, he says he's in good form when he came back, and he's taking it to the Premier League at the moment. He's going to look to improve again. If he keeps at the level he's been playing at, we'll be really happy. I don't know what you think of that comment. I take that as a positive, but he does put a lot of, he seems harsh on Benny. I don't think it's a bad thing. Maybe Benny needs that. It's a little bit like, when it's like me taking Freddie to the football, and they always say the parent can be harsh on their child, especially again, because you just want them to do so well. And I'm getting the vibe, I'm starting to really believe that Moyes really thinks there is a talent there, but I do think he thinks that Benny's still not been unleashed. And I think that's why he says what he says. That's my only thing I can think of, because there's always credit for a lot of other players. He is crediting Benny, but he always just holds back that little inch. And I wonder if that's a mixture of him managing expectations on a player like Benny and the fans, and not expecting him to just go and smash the world and score a hat-trick and do this and do that. But he certainly has turned up against Newcastle, and I think he can cause problems for many defences in this league. He goes on to talk about Benny and Antonio. There'll be times we play them together and times we play Saeed in different roles, but we're really pleased with Saeed. We know that Mish is capable of, but Saeed's the one who we brought to give us goals and assists, and he started well in the Premier League, which is great for us. So there you go. He is highlighting the fact that Benny was brought in to give us goals and assists, and he started well in the Premier League, which is great for us. So therefore, it gives you a little bit of an indication of what Moyes genuinely thought of the Benrahma situation last season. He was going to bed him in, but he was expecting maybe more goals and more assists. But if Benny can continue the form that he has had through pre-season, moving into each of the Premier League games, then it's a no-brainer that we're going to see a lot more of Benny, and that's where I think it's like you can read between the lines. It honestly is like Moyes is talking about his son and wants him to achieve to a higher standard. I feel like the only way Moyes would go, Benny's quality, he's been doing so well for us, he's this and he's that, as if Benny maybe goes and scores a hat-trick and assists a couple of other goals. So I think we can't read too much into it in terms of he just doesn't favour him. I think he does. He just wants the best for the player. Let me go and see what everyone else is saying in the chat. Oh my word, why does it do this? So frustrating, but you don't want to know about that. So let me see. Where am I? Here we are. Let's see what this is. If I've read that one, I've read that one. I've read this one. Happy Hammer. Does anyone know how I can form a ticket to someone on my network? I am not going to address that, Happy Hammer. However, I will address it with you. If you come onto our stream tonight, we are going to do a late show. Me and Stell will be doing a late show. So come and join us tonight. Check out the channel about 11:30, 11:45 tonight. Yes, it's late, but that's just what we do. And we'll cover that on the show tonight. So please come in and discuss that with us tonight. David M, there will be random checks. Must have COVID pass and proof of negative test result. Go earlier. Come on, you irons. Absolutely. I mean, I did get into the stadium a little bit later at the St. James's Park. They didn't ask any of us, but they are asking you to make sure you have proof. Now, I downloaded the COVID passport online, which is connected to the NHS website. So I had instant proof of my vaccination on my phone. So that was something that I would advise you to do. Now, I don't know how strict they are, but I would just have that there as well. They was checking COVID pass at Newcastle, seeing people getting checked. I wonder, Kent, if that was also related to the fact, did you go in a little bit earlier or later? Listen, the point is, just take your proof of evidence. Have a COVID pass or have evidence of a lateral flow test, a negative, of course, a negative lateral flow test. If you're doubtful, put a mask on. Have you had the jabs? I think you're talking to each other. Can you just show them proof of negative result, or do you need the COVID pass too? No, I believe it's one or the other. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I believe it is one or the other. West Ham without Neil is like coffee without milk. Absolutely. You need to show them the clear lateral test within 40 hours, as I thought. Rob J, Alex mate at the door. Yes, I do have a couple. Catch up later, folks. No worries, Rob. I heard Anton after our first two home games will be issuing with the card. Yes. Is this really so? Are you talking about for getting into the stadium, Kevin? Are you talking about the QR code that we're going to receive, the one unique QR code? Let me know if that's what you're kind of talking about. Revo, I will be taking my mask in case me or anyone around me felt uncomfortable, then I would put it on. Absolutely, mate. I get that. West Ham Fan TV Legendary Pixel is putting on, I don't know what that is. Is that an angel? Alfie, hi everyone. Good to see you, mate. Atmosphere Monday will be electric. Once again, sitting in the upper Bobby Moore stand. We're going to party. That's from CC. Andy Miles, what everyone's favourite ever goal West Ham scored against the Foxes? Good question, mate. You could talk about the Noble one as well. That was a belter of a goal a couple of seasons ago. Kevin, I'm lucky, Anton. I live near the West Ham shop in Basildon. They printed me out a ticket from my phone. Happy days. Yeah, brilliant, mate. Really good. Hey, Alfie. Hope you're supporting West Ham is so depressing. Another day with no signings. I know, but we have to have the faith. We've still got 11 days. We're not coming this far into the window and not going to go and sign players. We need to sign players, and we will. I'm confident of it. Trev, afternoon all. Happy Friday. I've just finished work. Hope you've had a good week, West Ham family. Really cool to see that. I'm seeing Sky Sport talk about nothing, so check out West Ham Network. It's better. Thank you very much. Hey, happy. 17 in all competitions this season, I think, from the big one. Antonio, I mean, honestly, unpredictability in the Europa League is going to be huge for him, a player like him. So I think it's going to be really cool. Dalek, afternoon. Hope your mum's okay and hope you are well. Still 10 days to go. Is that your lockdown, Neil? Megan, never really enjoying playing them on Monday. I know we have had some great results last season against them, but they are a concern, though, with Benrahma and Bowen and Fornals, Antonio. Megan, I completely agree with you. I do, and I don't think we should jump into this game and be overconfident. I always state it, if you ever watch the preview, I'm a half-glass full West Ham fan than a half-glass empty fan. Oh, sorry, 2 seconds. Never really enjoying playing them on Monday, but yeah, no, I get that. Sorry, that's the nature of what we do. We're live. We've got interruptions. That's just it. All talking to each other. I had Benrahma's 100% on penalties for Brentford. I think he's got such a good goal scoring record on penalties when he was at Brentford, actually. So it's a good shout potentially to have him. Yes, Moyes, but don't forget Bowen with Benrahma, Antonio. What did I miss? We're just talking about it. We've still got more to go around on the press conference. It gets nitty gritty, gets a little bit interesting when he talks about the transfers. You're right. You do need proof of 2 jabs, i.e., COVID passport or proof of a lateral flow test within 48 hours. Thank you, Dave. Cheers, mate. Kevin, I've had 2 vaccines and I have proof on my NHS app. Absolutely. I don't know if you know, also, when you do that, you can request a paper copy. So when you log into your NHS website and you put your details in, there is an option. So you've got the proof on your digital, on your phone, but you can request a paper copy and that paper comes through. So I've got the 2. So if my phone's going to die or whatever, I could take the paper copy with me and vice versa. I've got it on my phone. Trev, I hope so. I'd be happy with Benny on our penalties. Technical player who can put them away. Also likely to win penalties. Sorry, do you know what I was actually shouting for? The dinner, ordering the dinner, and I'm actually sitting here and I'm ordering the dinner. It was a Bo Anton Angel. Sorry, mate, but well, I don't know. I'm terrible with these emojis. Rumors of Marcus Thuram would be class. Don't know, mate. I really don't know, Jordan. Did like the Fornals goal versus Leicester. Great control and speed. Absolutely. Ken, I went in early, Anton, and when I was going in, everyone was being checked. Yeah, and I think there was a big difference between people going in early to people going in late. Josh, we won't get any players in until the earliest Monday before deadline. Antonio is Paulo One-Shot with muscles. Yeah, I mean, not a similar style, but I think you mean unpredictability. I loved Paulo One-Shot. I think he was a little bit like Marmite as well because of his unpredictability. You remember, I remember, was that crazy goal we scored for Derby County? And then obviously we brought him in and he struck up a nice bit of a partnership with Ticanio. And I did like Paulo One-Shot, to be honest. SH, massive process needed Monday. Let's make it hell for gold. Sullivan in front of the TV cameras. Do you, SH, right? Do you genuinely, I take it you genuinely mean that? I don't think Monday in this particular game is the right time to be like hell because it's the first time we're back at the stadium. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean anything. But, you know, we normally do well on a Monday night. I think this from Toby. It'd be interesting to see the stats in the late show. That stats on the late show. Oh, hint, hint, wink, wink. We had a football game here, 20,000, and ended up with 12 catching COVID due to people not being vaccinated. Scott, so hold on a second. We had a football game here. Where was that, Scott? 20,000 fans and end up with 12 catching COVID due to people not being vaccinated. Now, when I read that, that looks really good. That's like good stats. So yeah. Anton, screenshotting the QR code doesn't work, especially if you give it to someone else too. I have a friend who's at Spurs and they have this all last year. You can't screenshot the code in the wallet. Now, James, this is the part that I'm confused about. Now, I don't know how West Ham get past this, but from my understanding, and I've used it and I've screenshot QR codes and they do work. Now, I've not tried and tested it at West Ham, but I don't know what technology they're going to have to stop that. That's the part that I think a lot of people are confused about. So we'll see. SH, one striker is a joke. GSB out. Each to your own. No, it was my reply to Nick about no signings. Thankfully, South Australia isn't in a lockdown. It's only right. Okay, got you, mate. No worries. Hope you're keeping safe and well. Saeed scored 6 from 6 penalties, and Suchek had 10 from 13. Got a few rebounds, I think. Yeah, and what a rebound it was. I don't think. Hold on a minute. There's a comment here. I'll address. Best goal versus Leicester for Noble or Canio away at Filbert Street. Beat a few players and put it in the bottom corner. Absolutely, mate. Kimbo, afternoon, everyone. Absolutely. Agree with you, Trev Tube. Anton, I bow to your multitasking skills. Ordering dinner, controlling the kids, and live on YouTube simultaneously. Credit to you, my thigh guy. Just what we do, mate. Just what we do. No, I do not know. Someone teach me how to pronounce. Is it Vegeta or is it Vegeta? I don't have a clue. So please let me know. And the same as you, Anton. I've got a paper pass as well in case my phone messes up. I think it's a good idea. And I know people will be worried about that, Kent, as well, going into the games. Yes, because the transfer window ends soon, so no point in protesting in September. Anton, the plastic card like we had before to get into the ground. And I don't know if any of you have actually seen, but Canning Town Line, a good friend of the channel, is actually selling these things called a shiny card that you can actually get your stuff put onto, so it can act like a season ticket as well. So it's something for you to maybe check out as well. Anyway, let me get on to the nitty-gritty of the press conference. And he talks about Jesse Lingard. The questions are not for me. They're for Manchester United. We enjoyed having him, but in my mind, he's a Manchester United, and it's not for us to discuss. He then goes on to talk about other transfers. I hope to do some more business. We've been trying hard, and we're trying to add to a good group of players and give ourselves some more options at different times. We know we've got a challenging season ahead of us, but an exciting one. In this business, in the best business, there are no guarantees. Let me go back into the Lingard one. The questions are not for me. They're for Manchester United. We enjoyed having him, but in my mind, he's a Manchester United, and it's not for us to discuss. Now, I take from that, you can take this any way you want. This is what we maybe need to read into. He is saying there quite clearly the questions are not for me, they're for Manchester United. Do you take from that we've made a bid? I would suggest it's made me believe that West Ham have made a bid. So as we say in this show, we don't like to break any news because we don't get the news. We just report on what we see, try and figure out something and use our bit of knowledge that we've got. But I would take from that, and you could take from it any way you want. The questions are not for me, they're for Manchester United. So if they're not for you and they're for Manchester United, it means that you're obviously interested. It probably means you probably put a bid in, and now we're just waiting on the answer coming back from them. And of course, he enjoyed having him, but in his mind, he's at Manchester United, and that's not for us to discuss. So it's out of his hands because we can't discuss it. We're not allowed to discuss it. The situation is we can't be tapping up a player. It's in Manchester United hands. It sounds like the offer's in, and we have to wait for the authorization to then go and talk to the player. That's why it's in their hands. West Ham can't talk about it because we're not allowed to. So that is how I am taking that. I feel like West Ham have put a bid in for Lingard, and we're now waiting on Manchester United's answer before we can talk to the player and get it done. That's why you saw things coming out from his brother, who's his agent, going TikTok, and putting Hammer's sign, because there's something brewing there. There's absolutely something brewing there. Now, I know I've seen people showing and tweeting today about Fabrizio Romano's comments, showing people talking about Lingard. No one said he was there to stay, but he's going to be fighting for a place and seeing what he can do in the up-and-coming games. But that does not mean for a second that he is not leaving the club. And I still am adamant, and I'm still confident that he will be a West Ham player. What do you think? Get your comments in and let me know. Noble is going to tie Mickey on Monday. Yeah, could you imagine that? I mean, I like that little bit of a battle between the two when he does come on. Andy, work is officially over until Monday. Woohoo! Jesse will sign £15 million, in my opinion. I think one may come in and present to the crowd on Monday. Who? I'm just trying to think, mate. I'm like, Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, medical's going to be pretty tough. Monday all day, Moyes will be working with the squads. I do think it's going to go down to the wire unless we have an offer in and they go, they push out the boundaries and get something done. I don't know, mate, but I think it's going to go to the wire, to be honest. Toby, I don't know. That's been his stance all window when pressed about Lingard. There is two ways it has been his stance, but he's never really publicly. Well, he has said he's a Manchester United player, but he said ask that, because he can't. Toby, that's the thing. He can't say. He can say I admire him and what he's good at, but he can't say, yeah, of course we're interested in him, because he can't. It's a form of tapping up, and we can't do it. David M, no protests in front of cameras, please, until after the 31st of August. If there are no signings, does anyone of you agree? Put that into the chat and see what everyone thinks. Please just give me anyone. I dead tired of waiting. Aiden, no, not for me, mate. Not for me. Last time in Europa League, we signed players. We signed 7 players, quantity, and we never went for quality. And yeah, there could have been a couple of players there that could have made a career at West Ham, but they all fell under that spell of bringing 7 or 8 players in, and it just didn't work. Megan, remember the old days when seeing us in 4th after one game and you wanted it laminated, blown up on the wall after after last season's antics? I'm not mesmerised. Hope we can stay top 6. Megan, it's so funny. I remember, I look back sometimes and, even I know it's well, it's more recent than laterally, but I look back at, like, say, my Facebook memories, for example, from 10 years ago, and you've got things like me posting images of West Ham in the top 4, and you're just absolutely buzzing with life. But then, come to the end of the season, you're either relegated or you're sitting 15th or 16th. So I don't know, mate. Megan, I think it's funny. It's funny when you said that. It's so true. You do. But I think we've learned now as the older we get, maybe not to do it. But I hope we can stay. If we stay top 6, in my opinion, that's a very successful season for 2 seasons in a row. It shows the consistency that we're all desperate for. Liam, did you see we're apparently preparing a bid for Guyton Laborde right at the end of the window? He's an exciting 27-year-old striker. Last season he got 18 goals, 8 assists in 38 games. I like him. We'll need to have a look into him. David Moy, David M, but don't want them to sell to PIA, whatever they called. No, I don't agree with you. Can we bet anywhere on Lingard signing? I don't know. I don't actually have a look at. I'm not really a betting man anymore. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. Are we getting Lingard? Well, okay then. So I'm not a betting man, but if I was a betting man, I would put some money on the Lingard coming to West Ham. But I'm not saying he is. I'm saying that I think there's an opportunity there for us to get him. Though I would take a drop off the Prem positions if we progress in Europa. How much of a drop would you take? What would you be willing to do, Megan? Hi. Scott R, regarding the protest, they achieved nothing except making us look bad. GSB will not change anything due to a protest. It's just tarnished the club. It's nice to think we can influence them, but we can't. Scott, there is an element of that. I completely agree with you. However, we can't take away from the fact that there's a big group of fans that want to protest, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But you just want to hope that it's done in a respectful manner and it doesn't affect the players, especially after the last season that we had, which was such a fantastic last season. Signing Lingard is massive. It helped facilitate the false 9 formation. 100%, Vinny, 100%, mate. I think it would. Scott, protests only hurt us, even if they have good intentions. Name one protest in any subject that's ever made a change. Hammerwell, good point. Father Snowman, why have a month-long window when most of the transfers done in the last week? I don't know, mate. I really don't know. Interesting point. I think we'll play some of our youngsters in Europe initially. Hopefully we'll progress through and then play more seniors. It's a lot of games. It is, absolutely. And I do think we'll see a lot of youngsters actually playing in the Europa League and in the cup competition. So it'll be good to see them, because I do think there are players there that are interested. Listen, if you are interested in becoming a member of the channel, I've just had a private message sent through to me there from someone that's watching. I am going to put in here the link in the chat. That's how you become a member if you are interested. It just saves me having to go back in and reply to you individually. So if you are watching, then you just click that link there. That's how you become a channel member. Let me see where we are back in the comments. And we need to sign the right players. That's why it's a slow process. We've bought any old rubbish before and lots of sick notes in Moyes we trust. We do. Yes, I agree. No protest till after the window closes. We haven't made appropriate signings. Kevin, Anton, I've not got showing that I've had 2 separate jabs, but the Square only app comes up with my name and date of birth. Anton, I've not got showing that I've had 2 separate jabs, but the Square only app comes up with my name and date of birth. Kevin, so I don't know if I'm reading this right. You don't have proof of your 2 jabs, even though you've had your 2 jabs. Do you have the correct link of where you apply to it? Now, I don't know. I don't think the links are different from Scotland to England. I think they are the NHS website that gives you an option. But if you've received a letter for your appointment, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure on your letter you received a unique user number, name, number, whatever. I think that's how I applied for it and done it and had to set up a password or whatever. Do you think we'll get Zuma, and if so, loan or a permanent? I am saying that is probably not going to happen. But who am I to say it's not going to happen? He's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a player that I don't think you can be 100% sure on. I genuinely think Moyes is interested in other players who we think he can get the best out of in other leagues. So Toby, to protest now is a bit odd. I agree. Unless you're unhappy with Moyes, there's nothing to indicate our lack of business is not entirely down to him. You just can't assume it's the board and protest. I read on One Football that Stan Collymore has urged West Ham to sign St. Maximin. What's your thoughts? Estelle spoke last night about St. Maximin and said that I think when you should know how to nullify him, then he's not a problem. But I think he tore us to shreds. And I think he's got that spark that we've not had probably since Payet, maybe. Could be a big statement, but hey ho, we'll see. Lingard is 1-5 on signing for us in Sky Bet. Other betting apps are available. Next is 16-1 Everton. I just don't see why he would go anywhere else except for West Ham. So we'll see. Sorry, Anton, that outbreak was in Canada. I think you should proof vaccine to get entrance. Hello, everybody. Peeps, Pat, good to see you, mate. Hammer Molder, don't forget, Anton, there's a massive amount of people that don't want to protest. And I know I was trying to be respectful of the numbers of people that want to protest, but I do agree with you on that. I've never agreed with you probably more on that circumstances. There are a lot of people that don't want to protest, probably more than people that do want to protest, and they always call them the silent people, the silent voters, you know, that all that sort of stuff. Vinay, Andy Miles, I saw that Lingard to West Ham seems to be very likely. The bookies are usually spot on. I think it is going to be pretty likely, to be honest. Hi, Pat. All talking to each other, really cool. Did Stato win the 3-piece football prizes competition, Aiden? Yes, he did. I'm like, oh, and I was leaving it late to go and buy my tickets, and I shouldn't have left it late. And I was so annoyed. And then Matt sent the picture. He'd won it. So that's the second time he's won it. However, what I will say about Matt is he's consistent in purchasing the tickets. So since we've been sponsored by Football Prizes, he buys tickets every single week. And by buying tickets every single week, he has won 4 prizes, 3 in one go and 1 in the other. Signed Paulo Di Canio top. Sound Trevor Brooken memorable thing. Signed side Benrahma top. And a brand spanking new West Ham top. Tom Skinner says Tony Cotty's on the PAI consortium. I think I'm just a bit confused as to why he would be telling us that and not Tony himself or whatever. But I mean, I'm just checking now to see if I can see stuff about that. Let me see if I can bring that to you now, but I can't see anything. Here we go. Let me have a little bit. I'm assuming it would be through. Right, there we are. Well, 29 minutes ago, he's saying, so PAI have just revealed that legend Tony Cotty is on the consortium behind the West Ham bid. That's an interesting one, and maybe you can join myself and Stell about that tonight. So we'll see. We need more than Lingard. I think we do. I think he's working on stuff, you know, smoke and mirrors, all that malarkey. So we'll see. Roger Payne, rather spend money on decent striker than Lingard and play Benny. I think we're going to need to play the both, mate. I think if we bring them both in, we do need to bring them both in. I've heard Benrahma is 40-1 score more than 10 goals this season. Great bet. Yeah, absolutely. Just joined. Have you heard that Tony Cotty's back in PAI? Just seen that coming through. Again, my concern. It's good to see legends like Tony Cotty maybe back in something, but my concern is where the news is coming from as well. Why put it out through different streams and not make it official business? Don't know, mate. Jump on the Discord chat, mate. Great people chatting in there. They are. I'm really sorry I don't involve myself a little bit more. I will. With Lingard around, I don't think so. You're not going to do it, so that's fine. Totally appreciate that. Yes, mate, I agree. We need 4 players to provide enough cover for all comps. Final day in the window might be fun. I think it will be. Mappers, if we get St. Maxim, do you think Moyes would do to him what he did with Antonio? Don't know, mate. I think if a player like that came to West Ham, I think you'd just let him be the free-flowing player that he is, because he is. I know he's just a bit wild. Toby's putting you the link in there for the Discord chat. It's going 24/7. Click here. Yes, it does go 24/7. I can't deny that whatsoever. 99.9% survival. You can still catch and spread the virus. What the fuck would you take an experimental jab? I'm not going to get involved in any of the jab conversations, to be honest. Hey, Bulldog. Off home now. Everyone have a good weekend. Everyone see you later. Anton, enjoy your takeaway, big man. I will do, Milesy. Cheers, mate. Have a good one to you. Why don't we go for someone like Celtic striker Edouard? 1 year left in the contract, value 15 million. Quick, energetic, fast, motivated. Liam, I do agree with you. Motivated, probably not right now, because I don't think he wants to be at Celtic, so motivation has dropped. However, the first half of Celtic versus West Ham I think West Ham got to see what he was capable of in the first half. Second half, obviously, he was substituted off, and I don't think the Celtic fans are too happy with him. But £15 million for a punt on a player that looks like he's got the ability to do what Antonio does, I get that. That's a good shout. Listen, there's a few more slides I want to cover. Vardy and the double over Leicester last season. He's a terrific player, and he looks like he's getting better with age. He's a top centre forward, and I like the way he goes about his business. He looks as if he is a team player as well. When it matters, he comes up with the goods and goals. We've moved to a new season, but I think it was great achievement in itself because Leicester are a terrific team. Brendan Rodgers has got them playing really well. So I have to say, to beat them last year was a great achievement for us. We were with them in the table for a long part of the season. I think there's such a similarity. Now, the similarity is, think about it the right way. I think maybe it's a similarity in management. So, but then it's contradicting the comment I'm about to make. So, the clubs on paper should really be, with the players that they've got, kind of matchy in terms of what they do. We've got different ownership, absolutely, and we've got two different management styles. We've got similar management styles, but similar difference in how they deal with stuff in the market. So player gets injured from Leicester, they go and identify a new player, bring him in immediately, and that's how they work. West Ham have maybe some injuries, but they don't identify a player straight away. That could be down to the structure they've got behind the scenes, which we're trying to address right now, and we don't bring that player in as cover straight away. But there is a similarity in terms of the way that, they've got this kind of mutual respect for each other. They play within reason on a similar way, except for the fact that Leicester do have more target men and more options up top. I don't know, but Vardy is still the main man for them. He's getting into his late 30s and he's still doing a job and he's still dangerous, and we can't take them for granted at all just because we won the first game. Moyes then goes on to talk about the type of team he would like to manage with West Ham, what management style we bring to West Ham. I hope we're the West Ham team that wins more than others. I'd like to be a team of winners and winning more games than we lose. If we can do that in an entertaining fashion, scoring lots of goals, I'd be thrilled to do it. But ultimately, winning's my goal, and I'm trying to do that. I think what he highlights here is he's very aware, and I think we're all very aware, that there's a lot of problems in our defence, but he's highlighting the fact that we need to score goals, and he wants to bring in entertaining football to West Ham. You can see that with players like Benrahma, Fornals, when Lingard was there, Bowen, all that sort of stuff. We're going to have to outscore the opposition, and that's probably what I think we're going to have to do again this season, which makes me think we're in for this big roller coaster season again, because we're going to concede goals and we're going to have to outscore the opposition. But when West Ham go forward, we do look dangerous. So, it will definitely be an interesting one. Let me go through the final comments. Where are we? Oh my word, where are we? People always sack the board when the Cairns at the club and the Terry Brown couldn't do it. The Icelandics, they didn't have it long enough to see the pattern. Absolutely. There's many clubs that really like their owners, except for probably Leicester. At halftime, they are getting desperate. Thanks for the link, Toby. It's great fun. Words and pictures. I have a fair amount of... Arsenal in the relegation. Could you imagine a relegation place after the weekend? Could you imagine? Don't look good at all to me. Epic hashtag Liam. How many strikers have looked good in the Scottish League and just doesn't want and just wasn't good enough in England? Well, I also, living up here, have been prone to say that comment a lot, but have been proven wrong a lot. There are a lot of players that have come from the Scottish leagues that have gone on to clubs and have performed better. I think you can just name a few, like Virgil van Dijk. Okay, Wanyama did, but not so much now. So, there are players out there that can make the step up. It's just if they're the right player. And I think as long as Moyes fancies them, then that's going to be what we need to look at. Kevin, David Moyes should stop thinking that Antonio is an out-and-out striker. I know it is. It's just a bit weird how they're conducting their business. So Moyes didn't fancy Milinkovic. Milinkovic has signed a new deal at Fiorentina. Hope Monday's a great performance for the fans and we'll get behind the lads. Scott, absolutely. Yep, absolutely, Toby, it is. Arteta has a 3-year contract with AFTV. The worse Arsenal do, the more reviews for AFTV I usually watch. No, it's true, though. I've seen that. That's what we were just talking about. Toby, Kevin, he's better than most out-and-out strikers in the Prem, bro. Antonio, agree with you there, fella. I bet none of them know. I'm not meaning that in a horrible way, guys. I'm just not going to get kind of caught up in a chat about stuff like that. Liam, there's a few strikers who came from Scotland and England and made it. I think there is. Edward was capable of missing an open goal from 2 yards against us. Yes, but it is a friendly. I do think it's a player that could do it. This is a West Ham channel. It is. It's not a vaccine debate. Agreed about the youngsters playing in Europe to start. Kevin Bering. Agreed, Toby. But he must realise he's not out and out. Not too many of them. I don't really know what you guys are there. What a shambles off the pitch. Which 2 Slavia players will we sign on deadline day? I still think there's something in some of the original stories that we had. But like I said, I think it's going to go to the wire. I think it is going to go to the wire if we're going to bring in further players. I think he is now, mate, in reference to Antonio. This is from Toby. I'm sure he'd still be a quality right winger and right wing back and right back and left wing back, but I think centre forward is where he plays his best football. Epic hashtag Edward should try his luck in the Championship. Toby, I thought Brentford could replace Tony with Edward, but Brentford never sold. The 2 Llamas are fighting to believe this. What's going on? There's some real talent there. I hope they showcase their ability and get more of an opportunity. Hit the like button, legends. Yes, please do. If you are watching, please go and hit that thumbs up because it really does help the channel. Pushes us all into that algorithm and all that malarkey. But please do it. I don't know what we're at just now. Let me just have a brief check while we're online. I can still keep talking because my dinner's not arrived yet, but it'll be arriving very soon. So as soon as it does, I'll go. We're only at 66. Come on, 66 likes. If you are watching, please hit those thumbs up because those thumbs up help our channel. Please do it now. Just down there, you can see it. Toby's telling you to do it, so please try and do it. It's just a little cheeky thumbs up. It really does help our channel. 3 people disliked it already, but hey ho, we live in that kind of world where you can do what you want, and I'm thick-skinned, so I can deal with it. But come on, I usually get some more like that. I'm gonna ask for 5 more thumbs up, and I'll move on to the next comment and next part of the show. 5 more minimum. Go. We're at 71. There we go. Got them. Just like that. 5 more. Palace would end up signing him. I don't know. Are you saying Antonio? I don't think so. Christian Daly. What are you talking about Christian Daly for? Or Scottish players that made the step up. It's what's this? That's what I'm saying. All right. Okay. Sorry, Aiden. I've heard PAI are looking at the area around my dad's gonna kill me for saying this. My pronunciation. Plasto. I'm terrible with my pronunciation for development. I'm sorry about that. Traditionally, Scottish League produces great attacking players and dodgy keepers. Tierney's a good player that he came from Celtic. Liam Strua, watched Style Show, and he mentioned Thuram. If that's the bloke, I knew you'd have another 50 likes per day. Honestly, he's just obsessed. He's totally obsessed. Where are we? I watched Style Show, and he mentioned Thuram and Plea. Any news on them? No, because they're not coming to the club. Style's just at it. He's just trying to make up stories. Joe led Epic Hashtime always bangs on about that, clueless about the amount of good players who have made the move down south. Oh my word. Anton, give us some positive news. Positive news is we are the West Ham Network. We're going to bring you regular content. We're going to bring you a preview on Sunday evening. We're going to do a late show tonight. We're going to bring you preview on Sunday. We're going to do a match day live on Monday. And we're going to turn up to Leicester. We're going to beat them going into the final week of the transfer window where we're going to sign Jesse Lingard. We're going to sign Sima. We're going to sign Edward. And we're going to sign about 3 other players. And everyone's going to be buzzing because we brought in 7 quantity over quality. No, has he made one? Has he made a statement? Sorry. Where are we? Hit the like button, people. Transfer winners at the end of the month. Have you seen the Tony Cotty statement? No. So let me just have a little cheeky look on that. And I'm assuming we have our story for this evening. But where is it? Where is that? I can't see it. I'm gonna find it if I can. We'll see it. But let's have a look here. I haven't seen that. No, Pat, you should rename. Dislikes are still good for the channel, Anton. Good vibes. They are, mate, because not everyone's going to fancy what we do. So that is exactly what we are. Traore and St. Maximin would be quality. St. Maximin ain't happening, mate. It ain't happening. There's Traore, to be honest. Here he is, His Majesty. Yes, the diva. We can call him that. We need a live chat where the only content is to push the like button. Yeah, absolutely. Is that you taking the mic? I think that is what you are doing. Let me see here. Oh, what are you actually talking about? Llamas. Realistically, who do you think will sign this season going off our possible links? Well, Liam, I say the following. We have been linked to well over 100 footballers, and I would honestly say on paper, I bet you we've only been like properly in some form of talks or genuine interest in about 10 of them, if not less. I wouldn't. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but that's where I think it is, because I think these stories get regurgitated and people come up with things and put a player out there. Honestly, I see some accounts on Twitter saying, "Don't you fancy that guy that plays at Southampton, or don't you fancy that guy that plays at Blackburn, or don't you get all this." Fancy this player and fancy that. And I think people then start to go, well, that player should be the right one. Anyway, Cotty's statement, everyone knows how much this club means to me. I want the best for the West Ham players, the staff and the fans, and I'm confident the PAI will deliver on all fronts. And like I said, we will talk about this tonight, because it will definitely be it will be topic of conversation all over Insta. Marseille still need money. I think Leicester Car will move, but will they come to the club? That is a different ball game. I am comfortable with the current transfer situation. I'd rather sign no one than pay over the odds for someone. And it comes back to that original statement, mate, quality over quantity every day of the week. Now, listen, to finish this off, let's take a little cheeky look at some players in training. Look at that beautiful little face of Saïd Benrahma having a good laugh and jingle with Issa Diop and Areola. They are loving life. Look at them. Look, you just want to be in the middle of them. There's probably, do you know what? Do you know what's quite funny about these pictures? It's probably the same height difference between me and Stel. You've probably got me as Issa Diop, up there, up the top, and then you've got Stel as Benrahma. You've probably got Stel probably about a head height below Benny as well. So, yeah, that's a good one. Listen, I'm not Stel. I'm not falling for it, mate. I am not falling for it. Listen, it's been a pleasure for you joining us. I'm going to go and get my dinner. I am not looking at thighs right now. But it's been an absolute pleasure. If you are new around here, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help us. We're on our march. We're marching up to 8,000 subscribers, and it really does push us there into that whatever that world, all that sort of stuff. But please hit that subscribe button. If you are watching, hit the little cheeky like button. There's also a bell notification that lets you know when we do go live. If you are if you are interested in becoming a member, I'm going to put the link in the chat again for the last time, and that's your option of how you can become a member on our channel. Doesn't more subs make Stel's ego grow, GP? Yes, it does, mate. It does. Let me see here, David. Afternoon, Anton. I'm here in Leicester. I've been hammered with injuries. Well, we're going to talk about that, David, on the preview. So keep your comments for that one on the preview. That will be with you live on Sunday evening, hopefully with a special guest. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. I've been Anton, and this is your David Moyes press conference. Take it easy. See you tonight about 1:45 midnight.